And that is 20.
I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, Rams and Patriots.
It's not the first time I've played
touch on that
before.
later, but as Coach said, the AFC coming in here
But
on a two-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, what a second season for that youngster.
The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. A breakaway from Michael Thomas. Touchdown! Michael Thomas, 54 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. A second-time Pro Bowler here. This is the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham. Nickname, Automatic.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. The 20. A big play there for the AFC. 57 yards. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. Well, you know, it's hard for some of these guys to get on the same page because they've only been practicing together for a week, but these two, I think they're pretty familiar.
I would say so, right? You go back to OTAs, mini camps, preseason camp, games, the whole deal. They ought to know each other pretty well, and in an all-star game like this, key situations, you find someone like that who you know will be exactly where you think they're supposed to be.
This fielded at the 2. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Jarrell Casey with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Thomas has got it. Complete. Past the 20. And touchdown. Michael Thomas, 77 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously...
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. That's complete right around the 8. And he is not going to get in there. He stopped short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free, and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And an alley to run. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He was taken down by Ryan Kerrigan of Washington, and this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. It's the AFC in possession of the football to start quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Tariq Cohen of the Bears back deep for the NFC. Breeze in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now Breeze. And Thomas has it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The Pro Bowl tight end, Zach Ertz, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play...
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown, NFC. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Rosas good with the extra point. After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
I'm back on the mic.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A 2nd broken tackle. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Todd Gurley, 54 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy the Madden you already know and love with Madden Ultimate Team, franchise, or a quick pickup game and exhibition.
Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. Yeah. In the field like.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Andre Roberts with what will be called a 107-yard return. And the AFC has taken the early lead.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Drew Brees' accomplishments have been borderline astounding. When you look back at what people thought about him coming out of college, so-called height issue, you name it, he can do it. And boy, does he prepare well for each and every game.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be taken at the 10. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's counter. And some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge.
And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Melvin Gordon from 3 yards out. And the AFC adds on to their lead. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta. New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl predictions. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley of Baltimore with a tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The AFC offense making their way back out. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. They'll run it here with the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in his own blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jason Myers now for the AFC field goal. It's a 39. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And as a result, possession switches hands. Breeze now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Now the New York Giants star playing in the Pro Bowl as a rookie, Saquon Barkley. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did. A lot of people undrafted. and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
Brees to Ertz for the NFC first. Well, he was so good throwing the football on third down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's third down, he finds a way to convert. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run.
Now Barkley stripped of the football, and that's picked up by the AFC. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved in here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago in the last year in 2018. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Travis Kelce, 53 yards. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jarrell Casey able to get him for a loss of about 3. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
It's the NFC with the lead and the football as we start the fourth. The numbers for the NFC on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Brees. And this is going to be incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this is going to be incomplete. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Flush to his right. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. Now, that player is able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
I'd have to say that's a pretty darn good run right there. They had 8 in the box, still able to burn them. They've got to consider themselves lucky they only gave up a first down and not a touchdown.
So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Extra point up and through by Myers. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place. But in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Here we go.
On first down, Breeze gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Charles, sometimes I know a lot of people quick to dismiss the Pro Bowl, but I'll tell you what, this was a lot of fun.
It always is once the game kicks off, because going in, you know the rookies are excited. Their first time in a Pro Bowl, they can't wait to play. Veteran guys, should I not? But once they choose to play, they want to win, they want to compete, they want to show their best. You're exactly right. It was a lot of fun.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Breeze now to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Breeze going to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Breeze now. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. He finds an opening past the 40. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. 20, 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little...
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink.
Just wanna be her for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off. off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke. No, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. No, you don't want problems.
Do is I'm just gonna play as Redskins since Redskins is
Hello,
my
everybody.
favorite team.
I'm Jonathan Coachman.
And
All right, Coach. EA
we're
Sports
gonna play
coverage of
with
the
them and try to
National
win the Super
Football
Bowl.
League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy.
Super Bowls are awesome.
This will be taken in at the 1.
No, I'm
And
just
a
gonna
good
win
return.
some.
He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a man in his 13th NFL season. It's Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson off to the races. Touchdown, Washington. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
Pick, and I might
Hopkins
just
with
click
the
the
extra
SWAT
point, and
button
that
all
makes
the
the
time.
score 7-0.
But I'll try my best to click the pick button to pick the ball, intercept it. I'll try my best.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
He's about to crouch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away.
And right away, he lost the football.
Fumble, people.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So far, so
Now,
good.
Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And here is the Redskin defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he'd want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver. What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the
Go
game.
back there.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On play action, now Keenum.
Square.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try pressure advantage.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
I'm not going to open that up till later.
Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And down to the 36-yard line here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. From the 36, Keenum completes it right side.
That's in bounds.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Oh, no, they counted it. Yay.
From the red zone, it's Keenum. That'll be caught right side by Reed.
Think so. Oh, he was so close.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Adrian Peterson, his second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
I don't know.
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on them, it helps have the big gun.
They
in this case, just a little bit too much.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play.
They
create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
How'd you do that?
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards.
Move, Master.
There'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
I got that boy ankles.
And he's brought down after a very nice game. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated.
Sure,
ready
buddy.
to go for the second half.
Yeah, you go ahead and run that play. Oh, it could be a sky kick.
The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This will be taken in at the 1.
Clap.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23
Look at my kicker. My kicker's fully like.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
Last time it has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
I'm working
Off
on
the
it. I'm
edge,
trying
the
to make
sack
it
by
very
Matt
habit.
Ioannidis.
I'm just working on it to actually like work.
So far. They keep putting
Like I
themselves
could turn
in
it
third
on
and
and
long
stuff. It's
situations.
just,
They just took another
I
sack
still have to
right
do a
there.
few
And the
more
offensive film
attachments,
session
and then
tomorrow
I'll
may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down.
Oh, that
And
could have
it
been
is
pick.
incomplete.
Dun, dun,
So coming up
dun,
empty here to
dun,
start
dun,
the
dun,
third
dun.
quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice,
hope
though,
you
that the
get
captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold
You go
serve for
break
you
the main
while you
play.
figure it out over here on the sidelines.
Skirts by him at the 35.
My gosh.
And
My
now running
gosh.
right through it. And he finally goes out of bounds
You were
across the
trucking, you
opposite
were
40.
spinning, I mean,
That looked for a
juking.
second like he might take it all the way, but as it's...
And then you just run
So
out
now
of
we look at the
bounds.
Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. On first down, it's Thompson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
I'm just going to keep doing that for the
17
rest
yards
of the
that
time.
time at a Washington first. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a
I'm
back
gonna be
that's both.
surprised
We
if
know
we
that
get a
he's
touchdown
fast in
and
the
at
open
least 15
field.
yards on
The
this.
man's first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think
Why
of
did
that
the
type of
defense
speed
stop?
getting to the perimeter
He
and turning
stopped for a little
upfield,
bit, then he kept
but also
running.
when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to
Yeah,
react.
this is how you do a
They're trying to
backstep,
show
right?
they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, a 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
Sahami. I'll do the kick.
Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out.
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
Yep, now you're turning on it. Yeah, you kick that. You kick it. Yeah, you. Sky kick, he forgot to do
Following
it.
the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Yeah, they're gonna.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Oh, man,
That's Allison.
gosh.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
His blockers left him.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play.
They left
and
him
it'll
for
be
tackle.
2nd and 11.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking
Look at you.
or
You
you're gonna have to
facing
fight your
their
way through it by
touchdown.
getting through some blocking.
Look at you.
That was a really nice play there.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's not how a Super
Oftentimes
Bowl
we praise
works.
an offense for their
But
variety,
look
being
at-
able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying
I'm
to run
Josh
it.
I
Norman.
don't think we've ever
Yeah, you.
awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning
Chill,
it
Fat. I'll put your game in,
okay?
okay?
In this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down.
I'll put in that good old WWE 20. Just not right now. I'll put it in later, though. Stop, don't shoot.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk.
Rude, that's mean.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And it's a fumble.
User hits it.
They do.
That's Josh Norman, too.
Okay, this isn't one
Lisso. I haven't seen that Lisso or Lisso play in such a long time.
All the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes.
Gotta dance on them, boys. Hey. I'm in town. Party's going down, bitch.
And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And on that
I wonder if I can get this run play. I did a fake run. I wonder if I'm going to get it off.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their
Dang, he pushed one through the wall.
Is there bad blood here? I mean, and go for 2 when you're up that much.
Remember, sky kick.
There wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side.
He pushed one of those people that filmed
they just want to pile up points.
Game. He pushed him into the wall.
This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
For real, you left him wide open.
Across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter. Because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
This defense was
it's a zone.
To the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that. And the ball
oh my gosh!
And the Redskins scoop it.
Oh my gosh! Keep going. What are you doing?
And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Oh my gosh! You're selling. You're selling, kid. You're selling. Honestly.
For the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens.
You're selling. Selling the game already.
Say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Spaghetti. 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 Yeah.
It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout
this is supposed to be your kick.
And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching.
No, I have to return it.
As he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They're looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom,
I don't know.
End zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
That's why it's so easy to pop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the
37-0.
Oh, Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, Park, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
How much did you do? Nice play.
First down gain of 26 yards. We often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
He's certain.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one.
After this, we're getting on Fortnite, like we said. Booth review.
If you will.
Who called the challenge play? Both my feet were in. Yeah, both my feet were in. That's a touchdown. Like you already said. Yeah, better say that.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead will swell by one more.
No.
One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone.
No. No.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
No.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sideline. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And the Kings of the Super Bowl are the Washington Redskins. They win it, and they will get the
I hope y'all enjoyed
trophy.
this video. Expect more of these Madden videos.
For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy.
Yes, with my
we've
brother
talked
in
to
it
guys
too.
that have done it.
And peace out.